Valence is a commune in southeastern France, the capital of the Drôme department and within the Auvergne-Rhône-Alpes region. It is situated on the left bank of the Rhône, about 100 kilometers south of Lyon, along the railway line that runs from Paris to Marseille. It is the fifth largest city in the region by its population, with 62,481 registered inhabitants in 2012. The city of Valence is divided into 4 cantons. Its inhabitants are called Valentinois. Located in the heart of the Rhône corridor, Valence is often referred to as the door to the south of France. The local saying of Valence la midi commence pays tribute to the city's southern culture. Between Vercors and Provence, its geographical location attracts many tourists. Axes of transport and communications are the A7 and A49 autoroutes, the RN7 Paris-Marseille TGV line, as well as the Rhône. In addition, the Valence agglomeration is equipped with a marina, a trading port, 2 railway stations and an airport. Its business is essentially turned towards the sectors of agriculture, metallurgy, engineering and electronics. The commune, founded in 121 BC, after the invasion of Gallia Narbonensis by the Romans, it moved quickly to become the largest crossroads of routes behind Lyon. With its growing importance, Valence gained the status of Roman colony. Over the centuries, the town grew and grew. Today, many vestiges of the Middle Ages, Renaissance, but also from the 17th century, 18th century and 19th century are visible in the city centre. The city is historically attached to the Dauphiné, of which it forms the second largest city, after Grenoble, and is today part of the network of French towns and lands of art and history. Formerly the Duchy of Valentinois, it was ruled by the Duke of Valentinois, a title which is still claimed by the sovereign Prince of Monaco, though he has no actual administrative control over the area. Valence has beautiful monuments such as the Maison des Têtes, built between 1528 and 1532 by Antoine de Doorn, the St. Apollinaire Cathedral, built between 1063 and 1099 under the leadership of Bishop Gontard, and also the monumental fountain designed by the architect Eugene Poitou. The city has many historical monuments, most of which are in Valence, inscribed on the list of flowery towns and villages of France. Valence is one of the 17 municipalities of the Rhône-Alpes region to be labeled 4 flowers by the Concours des Villes et Villages. Florus, i.e. the maximum level. Geography. Location. By its geographical location, Valence is one of the points of compulsory passage between Paris and the Mediterranean Sea. Its position at the center of the meridian axis of the Rhône Valley places the city at the mouth of the valley of the Isère, in the west of the historical province of Dauphiné, within the natural and historic region of the Valentinois, and the boundary of the department of Ardèche. The city is surrounded by several mountain ranges, including the Massif Central and the Ardèche Hills to the west, and the Vercors Massif in the French Préalpes to the east. Valence is 561 kilometers to the southeast of Paris, equidistant south of Lyon and southwest of Grenoble, 120 kilometers north of Avignon, 220 kilometers north of Marseille, 204 kilometers north of Montpellier, 110 kilometers southwest of Saint-Étienne, 113 kilometers to the east of La Puy-en-Vallée, 50 kilometers north of Montélimar, 40 kilometers to the east of Privas and 65 kilometers to the west of Die. Located a few kilometers south of the 45th parallel, the city is often referred to as the gateway to southern France. Quote, "A Valence la midi commence, say people from the north. The agglomeration is based on 4 alluvial terraces ranging on the left bank of the Rhône, the lowest, which is closest to the river, where the districts of fishermen and sailors were. The intermediate terrace, safe from the floods of the river, which grew into the historic city, first within its walls, then expanded outside. The third terrace, highly urbanized in the second half of the 20th century, the highest, called the Plateau of La Tania, which has developed as a center of technological activities since the end of the 20th century on the edge of grain and vegetable farms. Administratively, the commune is located in the south of the Auvergne-Rhône-Alpes region, in the northern half of the département of Drôme, and in the southwest of the arrondissement of Valence. Moreover, Valence is the chef-lieu of 4 cantons: Valence 1, Valence 2, Valence 3 and Valence 4. The city is therefore divided into 4 at the cantonal level. The commune is part of the communauté d'agglomération Valence-Rhône-Sud-Rhône-Alpes, which includes 51 communes since its inception on 1 January 2014, and Valence is the most populous city. Valence was previously part of 2 intercommunalities, SISAV, which includes 7 Drôme and Ardèche communes from 1990 to 2009, and of the agglomeration community of Valence-Sud-Rhône-Alpes, which consisted of 11 communes from 2009 to 2014. Neighboring communes. Relief and geology. The area of the commune is 3,669 hectares, representing 36.69 square kilometers. The altitude varies between 106 to 191 meters. The granitic base, cut by the Rhône in the Saint Valley-Attein-l'Hermitage Pass, is covered by 4,000 meters of sediments in the Valence drop. In the Miocene, a molasse formed of detrital rocks due to the erosion of the Alps and the Massif Central was deposited in a shallow sea. Its thickness can reach 400 to 500 meters. During the Pliocene, the sea was reduced into a lake, resulting in lacustrine deposits and loess formation. During the Quaternary, between glacial periods, moraines were swept away by the meltwater in the interglacial stages and were carved by the rivers. Thus, nested terraces were formed. These nested terraces of Isère and Rhône eventually filled the gap of Valence. The Drôme des Collines, which integrates Valence, are formed at the end of the Miocene. Under the effect of the alpine thrust, the area was covered by a lake and fluvio-lacustrine molasse formed with a few ripples in the plain of Valence. The confluence of the Isère and Rhône and fluvial erosion caused by the waters in the Quaternary formed 4 superimposed terraces which are located in Valence. Hydrography. Valence is watered by the Rhône River. The commune is on the left bank. One of its tributaries also crosses the city, the Epervier, a 2.6 kilometers long river, formed by the joining of most of the city's channels, among others. Plain of Valence. The city gave its name to a well-defined geographical region, the Valentinois, over more than 3/4 of its territory. This region corresponds to the plain of Valence, shaped by successive beds of the Rhône which are abandoned fertile sedimentary deposits. Indeed, this plain, perfectly bounded by the Rhône valleys to the west, the Isère in the north, and the Drôme to the south, gives the appearance of a cheerful orchard with peach, apricot and cherry trees alternating with cereal and vegetable crops. Large farms, conquered one by the inhabitants of Valence, punctuate this agricultural area, barely broken by rivers and canals for irrigation, with groves and woods on its margins. To the east, the Monts du Matin extend as a long barrier of pleasant hills dominated by the limestone prow of the Vercors. To the south, beyond the Drôme Valley, the plain ends at the foot of the Massif, carrying the vast forest of Marsanne, topped by wind turbines. plains. To the north, beyond the Isère Valley, the Romane continues, geologically, Valence Plain. The lower Miocene molasse in the north of the plain was covered by outwash alluvium of the Isère, whose terraces today still mark the shape of the Valentinois. The view from the ruins of the Château de Crassol in front after the first sharp turns in the road on leaving the Col des Limouches. The plain of Valence appears as it is, a large flat surface, bordered by two reliefs which are unobscured. It is also a very large area because of the same formation of physical organization, one of successive terraces. Only the habitat and crops bring variation, due to the different nature of these terraces. Today the plain of Valence is organized around the Valence infrastructure whose urban sprawl gradually extends across its whole area. A number of communes however retain the village identity and the rural character, protecting them from changing into dormitory towns. These are ancient agricultural villages, especially those that precede the first villages on the side of Vercors. The names evoke an initial high placement to readily give a defensive view of the plain of Valence. Montalier, Montvender, Montéager, Montoison, Montmeron and Beaumont-les-Valence. However, the territories corresponding to the plain of Valence and the Valentinois do not include west of the agglomeration, which is located in the neighboring department of Ardèche. Climate: Valence enjoys a temperate climate, whose main characteristic is an almost constant wind which blows and dries the Rhône corridor. Dubbed the Mistral, when it comes from the north, it brings good weather and coolness in the summer, but an impression of freezing cold in winter. When it comes from the south, it usually announces the arrival of stormy disturbances. It is then called le vent du midi à le vent des fours because, for some people, it makes the atmosphere painful to bear, especially in the summer. The climate is semi-continental with Mediterranean influences. The Gotheron weather station of Saint-Marcel-les-Valence, located 6 kilometers from the center of Valence, recorded an average temperature of 12.3 degrees Celsius and 886 millimeters of precipitation over the period from 1966 to 2004. The annual sunshine in Valence is 2,500 hours per year. However, there are large variations from one year to another, depending on the dominant influence. During the period from 1994 to 2004, the following years were remarkable: lack of sunshine in 1996, low precipitation and high temperatures in 1997, significant rainfall in 1999, and in 2002. There was significant sunshine from 1999 to 2002, accompanied by higher than average temperatures. Frost in April 2003 which affected peach production, followed by a summer heatwave in 2003, with exceptional sunshine for the year, and a rainfall deficit in 2004. Valence is located in the Rhône Valley where the wind regime is regular, both from the south and north, adding in the course of the Rhône which is linear from Lyon to Valence. This circumstance has allowed navigable sailing on the Rhône from Valence. Vegetation. The vegetation in the plain of Valence is mid-European with a supra-Mediterranean flora mingled with thermophilic species such as downy oak, or even evergreen oaks on exposed slopes with draining soils. Found also in the south of the Drôme Valley where the Mediterranean influence finally prevails to the south as spontaneous populations of thyme, lavender, Euphorbia scharaceus, Spanish broom, cane of Provence, as well as Aleppo pines on the western face of the Massif of Crassol. Due to the exposure and the nature of the soil, the Ardèche Hills offer landscapes landscapes of garrigue and Mediterranean oak from Tournant, which is located 22 kilometers north of Valence. The hills have a double vegetation, Mediterranean on the southern side and subcontinental on the northern side. Formerly, the cultivation of olive trees was previously on the well-exposed heights of Tain-l'Hermitage to the north, but they were replaced by the culture of the vine at first, and then by that of apricot, peach and other fruit, which are still very present in the region, even though more than 7,000 hectares of fruit disappeared from the Drôme landscapes due to an outbreak of Charka and a bacterial infection, forcing wilt since 2003. Communication and transport. The central railway station of Valence is the Gare de Valenceville, located just south of the town centre. The station offers connections to Lyon, Grenoble, Avignon, Gap and several regional destinations. In 2001 the Gare de Valence TGV opened along with the LGV Méditerranée, a high-speed rail line extending south from Valence to Marseille. The station is only 1 kilometre south of the end of the LGV Rhône-Alpes, giving Valence much shorter journey times to northern destinations as well, with a journey to Paris taking 2h11. The TGV station is located 10 kilometers northeast of the town. A bike-sharing scheme called Libello started in March 2010, offering 200 bicycles for long-term hire and 180 for short-term hire, in 18 locations around the city. Charges are collected by smart card or credit card. Road network. The city occupies a key position at the center of the Rhône Valley, located on a crossroads of road networks. It is known to be a point of passage of the holidaymakers who head to the Côte d'Azur. The A7 autoroute connects it to Lyon to the north, Avignon to the south, then to Marseille south. The A49 autoroute connects it to Grenoble to the northeast. The A41 autoroute connects it to Savoy and 206 kilometers respectively, and Geneva 245 kilometers to the northeast. On the other hand, relations with the cities of the Massif Central are more difficult as the roads are very winding. For example, the shortest route to reach Saint-Étienne passes through the Col de la République at 1,161 meters altitude. Underground project of the A7 in Valence. The A7 autoroute runs along the Rhône and thus crosses the city by cutting the river. An underground project of the autoroute up to the city is being studied. The city of Valence was cut off from its river during the construction of the A7 motorway in the 1960s. The idea is born to bury the fast-access semi-covered trenches over a distance of about 1.5 kilometers. This project to bury the motorway should make the banks of the Rhône available to Valence. However, the project would not be completed prior to at least 2025. The studies, which will be soon carried out, should enable a decision on the exact length of motorway involved, the technical choices and the financial cost. According to a preliminary study, the construction costs should culminate in an amount of €500 million, of which the costs will be shared between the state, the company Vinci Autoroutes, the Department of Drôme and the city of Valence. Valence Ring Road. The peripheric of Valence consists of the A7 autoroute, Route Nationale A7 and the Route Nationale A532. It is located on the European routes E15 and E713, forming a half-loop. The Valence Ring Road covers a little more than 22 kilometers and connects the commune of Bourg-les-Valence to the north in the city quarter of Fontaine-Lozère to the south, thus bypassing the major part of the city whilst ensuring the city is served to the east. It also allows easy access to the Valence TGV station in the north by the RN 532. The ring road of Valence features motorway except in two singular points. The portion of the A7 autoroute in the center is the legacy of the 1960s when the city turned back to its river. It is even doubled by urban roads. The D207N plans to form a complete loop connecting the current ring road to a western bypass of Valence on the right bank of the Rhône are under consideration. The East Ring Road is of more recent design and it ensures the continuity of the RN7, which offers a free alternative to the A7. This section also provides the extension of the A49 autoroute right to Valence, a road doubling project of the A7 and A49 autoroutes was considered to relieve the ring road of its transit traffic but was abandoned, even though this access was granted to the Society of the Autoroutes du Sud de la France and acquisitions had been completed. The West Bypass is gradually emerging and it relates directly to the department of Ardèche. It is materialized by a second bridge on the Rhône coming to relieve the Mistral Bridge located in the city center. This bypass is to develop because it is located in the core trunk with the D86, the main axis of the right bank of the Rhône. The bypass of the communes of Guilherand and Granges, St. Perry and Corners is programmed, which ensures its realization by 2025. It will then require the construction of a third bridge over the Rhône in the north of the metropolitan area, to complete the ring road that will then form a complete loop. This project is at the stage of preliminary studies and it seems that a passage on the present dam of the CNR is retained in order to minimize the cost. The bridges of Valence during antiquity, the existence of a bridge providing, as in Vienne, the link between the two shores, is likely. Indeed, as early as 1388, the toponym Pont-Perry is carried by a sector of the quarter of Basseville lying in the extension of the east-west axis of the ancient city. In addition, Blanc would have discovered, still in this same extension, piles of oak closer perhaps to appear. He also mentioned the Tour de Constance on the Valence shore, a construction already known in the Middle Ages and which bore all the floods of the Rhône. In any case, the existence of a link between the two banks is in no doubt and a crossing point could even have existed at the site of Valence from the prehistoric time. Whether or not that existed, this ancient bridge was not replaced until the 19th century. The different successive bridges of Valence, in chronological order, are the Seguin Bridge built from 1827 and delivered to traffic in 1830. The Stone Bridge, dating from 1905, destroyed the 19th of June 1940 by French engineers to slow the advance of the German troops. In August 1940, Rhône is again passable by boat and then a ferry to Try. A temporary Peugeot bridge was then installed by the engineers. This bridge was again damaged on the 18th of August 1944 during a bombing by the Allied forces. A temporary suspended walkway installed in 1949 and which was in use until 1967. The Frédéric Mistral Bridge, completed in 1967, is still in service. It joins the commune of Guilherand and Granges to the city centre of Valence. Finally, the Loans Bridge was inaugurated on the 18th of December 2004. Located at the south of the city, is the second bridge of Valence, long expected to alleviate the problems of movement between the two banks of the Rhône. It connects the communes of Guilherand and Granges and Soyons in the southern districts of Valence. During long periods where no bridge was available, a reaction ferry could cross the Rhône River. On the right bank, in Gilhere and Granges, an old pile used by this ferry is still erect. Public transport. The region has a bus network called CITE, which covers the Valence agglomeration and the Romano-Pigeoise town north of Valence. The network is managed by Valence Romans Déplacements and controlled by the Communauté d'agglomération Valence Romans Sud-Rhône-Alpes and its operation is entrusted to VTV from 2012. Given the large extent of the CITE network, the latter is divided into two sectors, Valence and Romans-sur-Isère. The territory covered by the network is 1,037 square kilometers. It consists of 64 communes located in and around the towns of Valence and Romans-sur-Isère and is inhabited by nearly 220,000 people. Fourth urban network of the Rhône-Alpes region. It has 20 regular lines, over 200 stops and a fleet of 220 bus. The Aura card is a transport document which consists of a smart card which allows not only to travel on any CITE network, but also to combine travel with other modes of transport in the region such as the Rhône-Alpes, networks of transit of Saint-Étienne, Grenoble, or Lyon, or even rent a bike in free service. Railway. Valence has two SNCF railway stations. Gare de Valenceville. Valence has two SNCF railway stations, commissioned in 1865. The role of the Valenceville railway station has refocused on regional transport since the 2001 commissioning of the Gare de Valence TGV, or simply Valence TGV. It is the point of departure of the trains in the direction of Grenoble, Chambéry, Annecy and Geneva. Valenceville railway station was also the origin of the relationship which serves Livron, Crest, Die, Vains d'Avelwy, Gap, Ombrun and Briancorn. The passenger building of Valenceville railway station has been in service in April 1866. It was designed by Louis-Jules Bouchot, architect of Napoleon III. The facade of the main body, in stone, is inspired by the Petit Trianon of Versailles. The main facade on the Rue du Pavillon Central has been registered as an historic monument since the 11th of October 1982. Gare de Valence TGV. Valence TGV railway station, on the Lyon-Marseille Méditerranée line, is located 11 kilometers northeast of the city center. Prior to its opening in 2001, the high-speed TGV trains stopped in Valenceville railway station. Trains reached Paris in 2 hours 36 minutes. At the opening of the TGV station, a service of 50 TGVs per day was planned, with 8 of these TGVs continuing to serve Valenceville. Valence TGV station rail connections regularly connect to 35 cities, including Paris, Marseille, Lyon, Toulouse, Lille, Nice, Montpellier, Nantes, Le Havre, Reims, Avignon, Besançon, Strasbourg, Dijon and Brussels. In 2003, 60 daily TGVs served the station, with 1.8 million passengers. In 2008, the station was served by 58 daily TGVs, carrying 2.2 million passengers. Inland waterway. The Port de la Ripervière contains 478 berths. It is the first river port of France. Built in 1973, at the initiative of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Drôme, around a pool of 44,000 square meters. It is included in a leisure park of 17 hectares. The quality of the services offered allowed it to obtain the Blue Flag of Europe in 2005. Created in 1978 and operated by the CCI of Drôme, the river port of trade in the Drôme is located for its part on the territory of the commune of Portes-les-Valence, just to the south of the city of Valence. It spread over 41 hectares and has, in addition to the port itself, an industrial zone with 9 hectares of area of warehouses, including customs, a grain terminal, a wood center, and the storage sheds all products. Its strategic location on the Rhône allows it to serve the countries of the Mediterranean basin and the Middle East. As of July 2013, the Compagnie Nationale du Rhône began a campaign of work, with a cost of €14 million, to develop the port to make it a place of exchange at the European level. Air Valence Chabois Airport, located in the commune of Chabois, is co-managed by the General Council of the Drôme and the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Drôme. It is open to commercial national traffic to private aircraft, using IFR and VFR, but welcomes more regular routes since the decision of the Valence-Paris service, which has run since 1969. The airport has 3 runways, one of 2,100 meters in concrete, and 2 smaller, 1,300 meters and 440 meters. The 530 square meters terminal has 2 gateways for access to aircraft. The aircraft parking area is 16,000 square meters. Passengers have at their disposal a 150-space car park and a hotel area. A flying club, as well as a helicopter company, are installed at the airport. Grenoble-Isère Airport is located 80 kilometers northeast of Valence along the A49 and offers flights to several European cities including London, Bristol, Dublin, Rotterdam and Warsaw. Lyon-Saint-Exupéry Airport is 114 kilometers north of Valence via the A7 motorway and offers international flights. The airport is considered to be the second airport in the province after Nice-Côte d'Azur Airport and connects Lyon with most capitals and major European cities. More than 100 cities are connected 1 or more times a week, some up to 5 times per day, such as London. In 2013, the Lyon-Saint-Exupéry Airport processed more than 8.5 million passengers. Self-service bicycles. Since March 28, 2010, the city has a system of self-service rent-a-bike and long-term hire called Libello. It includes 160 bikes on the Smooth Key concept spread over 18, then 20 stations and 200 rental bikes for long duration in Valence, Guilherme and Granges and Bourg-les-Valence. Unlike most other bike-sharing systems, its management is not delegated to a business, or related to an advertising market but provided by the Transport Company of Valence in partnership with the CITE Acute Transit Network.